The argument started over something small. Dishes, of all things. But as often happens, small things carried big words. Maya stood in the kitchen, hands on her hips, staring at the pile of unwashed plates. You said you'd do them yesterday, Ethan. I can't do everything around here. Ethan, sitting at the table scrolling through his phone, looked up tiredly. I was going to. I just got caught up fixing the car. Yeah, right, she snapped. You always get caught up. You never finish anything. His expression tightened. That's not fair, Maya. She crossed her arms. Fair. What's fair is that I work full-time, cook, clean, and still have to remind you to do basic things. You've been out of work for months, Ethan. What exactly are you doing all day? That last part came out sharper than she intended, but she didn't stop. The frustration that had been building for weeks poured out. You're useless, she said finally. Completely useless. The words hung in the air like poison. Ethan froze. His eyes, usually warm, went cold. You really think that? He asked quietly. Maya hesitated, realizing too late what she'd said. I didn't mean. He stood up, his chair scraping the floor. Yeah, you did. He walked out of the kitchen, closing the door behind him. Maya didn't follow. She told herself he just needed space. They both did. That night, she fell asleep on the couch, angry but exhausted. When she woke the next morning, sunlight was streaming through the curtains. The house was quiet. Too quiet. She stretched, expecting to hear Ethan making coffee like he always did after a fight. But the kitchen was empty. No mug, no sound, no trace of him. Then she saw it, a folded piece of paper on the counter with her name written neatly across the front. Her heart dropped. She opened it slowly, her hands trembling. Maya. I didn't want to leave things this way, but I think maybe you were right. Maybe I am useless, at least to you. I've been trying to hold it together these last few months. Losing my job hit me harder than I let on. I didn't tell you how many interviews I failed, how many rejections I got, because I didn't want you to see me as weak. But yesterday, when you said it out loud, I realized you already saw me that way. I'm not angry. Just tired. Tired of feeling like a disappointment. Tired of pretending I'm fine. I need some time to figure out who I am again. Someone who isn't defined by failure or anger. I love you. I really do. But right now, I need to love myself enough to step away. Please don't look for me right now. I'll call when I'm ready. Ethan. Maya stood there for a long time, the letter trembling in her hands. Her eyes blurred with tears as the weight of every careless word she'd said the night before came crashing down. She rushed to the bedroom. His clothes were gone. The closet door hung open, a few empty hangers swaying slightly. She checked the driveway. His car was missing too. It hit her then. He was really gone. She sank onto the edge of the bed, clutching the letter to her chest. I didn't mean it, she whispered to no one. I was just angry. But anger, she realized, didn't erase the damage. All day, she replayed their last conversation in her mind, the way his face had fallen, how his shoulders had slumped, how she hadn't even tried to stop him. Every moment was a wound reopening. That night, she sat at the kitchen table, staring at her phone, typing and deleting messages. I'm sorry. Please come home. I didn't mean it. None of them felt enough. Words had hurt him. She knew words alone couldn't fix it. Over the next few days, she called his friends, his parents, even the old mechanic he used to work with. No one had heard from him. The silence was unbearable. But slowly, that silence became something else. A mirror. She began to see the part of herself she had ignored, the impatience, the way she used anger to hide worry. She hadn't realized how much Ethan had been carrying, or how her words had added weight to his shoulders instead of lifting it. A week later, a small envelope arrived in the mail. No return address, but she knew the handwriting immediately. Her heart raced as she tore it open. Inside was another note. I'm okay. Staying with an old friend for now. Started working at a repair shop in town. It feels good to be doing something again. I needed to hear those words, Maya, not because they were true, but because they forced me to face how far I'd fallen. You were right that I needed to change, but maybe we both did. I'm not ready to come back yet. But when I do, I hope we can talk, not to fix what's broken, but to understand it. Take care of yourself. Ethan. Maya read it over and over, tears streaming down her face. Relief mixed with regret, but also something new. Hope. For the first time, she didn't rush to call him. She respected his space, knowing this time, love meant patience. In the weeks that followed, she worked on herself, on listening instead of snapping, on being kind instead of defensive. She started journaling, cooking meals he used to make, even volunteering at a shelter where he once repaired bikes for kids. Every small act reminded her that love wasn't about who did more. It was about seeing the other person fully. 3 months later, there was a knock at the door. When she opened it, Ethan stood there, tired but smiling faintly. "Hey," he said softly. Maya didn't speak at first. She just looked at him, then stepped forward and hugged him. "I missed you," she whispered. He hugged her back. "I missed us." And in that quiet moment, without promises or apologies, they both understood something. Love wasn't about never breaking. It was about finding the courage to rebuild together.